Now, imagine checking the balance of your bank account only to find a staggering $100,000. Feeling incredulous? Well, this is one reality that can actually happen to you. But here's the catch. For the majority, the thought of setting aside the first $100,000 is like climbing the skyscrapers. If, let's say, you are in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, the time when one is rapping hard with so aggressively with bills, how will one even get there? But what if I said that while it may sound implausible, it is actually quite within your means, irrespective of your income or your lifestyle? I saved my first 100K in this age, and in this video, I'm going to share with you the very few golden principles that will help you drift through with ease of even not having a six-figure income. I mean, trust me, I wasn't. At the end of this video, you are going to have roadmaps that can get you to that point as well, and it may be much quicker than you would anticipate. So, how about we jump right in? 1. The challenge and fear. Embarking on my first attempt at saving $100,000, I was filled with chills. Chills that I might not succeed, chills that I might fall short in the process, and a terrifying chill that said it would demand too much of me in order to achieve that amount. Know this feeling? There is always this inner prophet saying, if I save, I will fail to have a life. Everyone wants to enjoy their 20s and 30s, right? Traveling, partying, adventuring. How do you enjoy the present and invest in the future at the same time? But here's the harsh reality. If you do not start saving up now, in the next 5 or 10 years, you will bitterly regret that. Time is the most crucial element of looking for wealth. So the earlier you begin, the quicker and easier it becomes. You can decide to forgo some things right now, or you will be made to forgo a lot more in the future. Just let that sit in. Let us suppose, just for the sake of the argument, that you start saving a measly $200 every month in your 20s with an 8% return. In that case, you should have over $700,000 around the time you get retired. But what if you put these efforts in your 30s? Well, then you will have to put up double the amount in order to even come close to that figure. Hence, if you are in your 20s or 30s as we speak, it is time to reevaluate the current situation and understand this. Time is not on your side. 2. The strategy and excitement. This is where the tale turns interesting. Actually, once I set my views towards saving the first $100,000, there was a drastic change, and fast. In my case, the answer was based on 3 principles: the right mindset, the right set of habits, and the ability to scale up my earnings. Because of this, the first thing that had to be done was to overhaul the thinking processes. This is not the same as suffering, it is about having foresight of things. Instead of saying, I cannot have this, it became about, I am going to have this in the future. Yes, I went out of my way to enjoy life, travel, and buy things I always dreamed of buying, but I did it the right way. For instance, for the first couple of years, I moved into a smaller apartment so that I could use the extra money to invest. I employed the concept of place-improving savings rather than the idea of working hard to save money. Secondly, I was able to do the magic and push my savings to lowest settings. Regardless of intent, I programmed myself to transfer a specific portion of my paycheck into my investment account whenever possible. This consistency was perhaps the most critical. Slowly but surely, I hardly even felt the absence of the money, but rather watched it grow over time. You are making willpower irrelevant as maximum money is automated and therefore spent cannot be seen. And the last one, I expanded my money. Certainly, there is no need to go out of your bounds close to losing everything in vain business ventures, or try spending your whole day in hustles, but always focus on how more income can be generated. For me, this resulted in both asking for salary increases and picking up some freelance work. In a single year, I raised my earnings by 20%, which enabled me to set a higher saving limit. This is the interesting part. The speed of saving has a direct proportion with the speed in which they grow. The first $10,000 were emotionally exhausting for me. When I got the second $50,000, however, it all changed. The most wonderful ability of compound interest was realized, and I observed massive increases in my investments. It is as if you first start with saving $10,000 and get an interest rate of 10%. Simply put, at the end of the year, you will have $11,000. If you carried out the same cycle with $100,000, domestically speaking, you would be returned $110,000 this time without doing much. This is how success and eventually wealth comes, through gradual compounding. A series of minor wins at first will turn into big wins later. However, this is the thing that most forget, the urgency. Numerous times one must have come across the saying, the rich keep getting richer, and for what reason? It is not sorcery. Once you reach the level of $100,000, your funds will function in ways you cannot picture after that. And then, the time it takes for you to earn the same amount completely reduces. Thus, further on and before you would have opportunities to invest, which would not have been there earlier. But here's the crux of the matter. The most difficult part is getting there. The first $100,000 mark. In respect to this, there is a deep psychological barrier that can be compared to pushing a huge rock up a hill. But once you accomplish the goal, everything changes. It is like the beginning after splashing through a wall. How quickly you went from being there to this "now that's amazing." The question that begs an answer then is, how far would you go in the present to make some adjustments and ensure that your future in terms of finances is not as bleak? Because if you're watching this, you have the power to save your first $100,000 too. It's immaterial whether you make $30,000 or $80,000 a year. It is how you manage your money that is important. And the best part? After reaching that level, people usually advance to the next level much faster than expected. Before I go, let me tease you a little. In the next video's SEO strategy section, I will reveal the 2 particular tools and accounts to proliferate my savings investments. This is a conclusive rule. It can save you several years of mistakes looking for a solution to this problem. So, if you're prepared for the next level, click the subscribe button and get prepared. Just bear in mind that the initial 100K is the most challenging one, but from that point on, life is a cakewalk. Why did you have to wait this long? I appreciate your attention, and I will meet you in the next video.